Hello and welcome to today's live Q&A. I'm Katie, founder and CEO at Barn2.
And I'm Sam Waynes, and I handle all of the YouTube channel and many other tasks marketing related at Barn2. We have a great team of people behind the scenes as well who work on support and, of course, work on the plugins. I want to give them a little shout out because I don't think we ever mentioned them. They're an awesome team. And although we're up here doing the live in front of you, they're behind the scenes making it all happen. So if you are watching live, please leave us a question in the comments. We would love to get to those questions and interact with you in a live setting. And of course, if you have pre-submitted a question, we will be answering those throughout the call as we go through the different plugins. Typically, what we do is we pick a plugin with a question, we introduce that plugin, and then we answer that question. And then later on, we send links to people so they know where to find it in the video. So if you can't wait around to the end, you can always watch the replay on YouTube, which is always available after this has gone live. All right. And what you have anything for us, Katie?
So company news, all we've got is upcoming WordCamp US conference, which is the flagship WordPress event for the US. That will be 2 weeks from now in Portland, Oregon, and I'll be doing a masterclass for WordPress product people. So if you sell WordPress products like themes or plugins, then come along and register. It's about what the top WordPress product companies do differently and how you can learn from that. So if you're going to WordCamp US, then sign up for that. Or if you're going and you're not a product person, then feel free to just contact us and I can arrange a meeting with you, for example, to talk about any of our plugins, if you've got any questions or just want to talk WordPress. So I'll be there for the whole conference.
I just wanted to shout out to Don, who pre-submitted this question. He says, don't have any questions. Thanks, Don. Just interested to join and listen as I have to make a call on using your plugin to build a tire wholesale website. So I'm not sure if you already know how to do this, Don, but if you do, great. If not, we will be getting to Wholesale Pro as the second or third plugin on the list today. So nice to see you there, and let's hang out and chat. And if you have any live questions, you can leave them in the comments. All right. So we are ready to jump into the first plugin already. And I wanted to shout out our plugin Discount Manager first. So I'll bring that up now. So our WooCommerce Discount Manager plugin is for setting up all kinds of different discounts that you can't normally set up in WooCommerce. So this could be things like buy one, get one free, total cart discounts. So discounts when you buy 20 items or more, things like, bulk discounts, as well as everything in between. So let's just pick one, for example. Actually, I wanted to show today how it looks on the back end real quick. So I'm going to share this tab from my demo site. And if I add a new if I add a new discount using the plugin, it looks something like this. So we have a simple discount, which could be 10% off everything or 10% off a certain category or set of products. Or it could be a fixed discount, like $5 off t-shirts. There are other discounts like based on your total spend. So you save $10 when you spend $100 or something like that. Free products, buy one, get one free, buy three and get the fourth one half price. Buy X for a fixed price, and so on and so forth, including bulk pricing, which gives you a nice little bulk pricing table. Actually, let's show what that looks like real quick. Where is it? I wanted to show the table. Oh, it only shows up on the front, right?
That's front end, yeah.
Yes.
You need to add. You click add tier to add the table in the back end.
There we go. Add tier.
Yeah, that's what you want.
So the minimum quantity, for example, we could set 5. Maximum, we could set it as 10. And the discount could be 5%. And then we just keep adding tiers as many as we like. So we could go 11 up to 20, and that will give us a 10% discount. And what that will kind of look like on the front end is something a little bit like this. So this is the table where you can see all the different discount options. Anyways, so that's a quick little intro for this plugin. And now we have a question that was pre-submitted in Italian, but we're going to give the English answer.
Yeah. Well, YouTube has a new feature, I think, that does it auto dub. Have we got that enabled?
I'm not sure if they do it for every video because that's quite a lot of data, but it might be
Mm,
possible. And I'm not sure it's something we do
yeah.
enable ourselves or if YouTube just allows it automatically.
You know, when I did a different podcast yesterday, which was live, it was just enabled automatically because we checked. So hopefully this person can watch in Italian
Hmm.
and that would be weird, us talking in Italian.
We could get Luigi on. Here's the question
Yeah.
translated
We
into
have two
English.
Italians, but yeah.
Hmm.
So I use bulk variations to create my product grid of t-shirts with vertical colors and horizontal sizes. Everything was fine. Now I'd like to set discounts based on the total quantity from Massimo. So to do that, you need to use WooCommerce bulk variations with our WooCommerce Discount Manager plugin. So I'm going to share my screen now and show you how those two plugins work together. So this demo product has, well, actually 3 of our plugins working together, but we only care about 2 of them right now. So you've got the bulk variation grid that from WooCommerce bulk variations. So that's the variations on this product, but displayed in a quick order form. And then behind the scenes, we've used Discount Manager, which Sam just showed you, to create bulk pricing tiers. And so what we've done here is if you buy 5 to 9 t-shirts, then you will get a discount of 10%. So let's add a combination of various ones. 31 is fine, doesn't matter. Well, that will give us a 25% discount because I've added so much. So I'm going to select various variations and add them all to the cart. And then when we go to the cart, this is where we see our 20% discount kick in. So it looks like I already had some. No, that's all what I've just added to my cart, isn't it?
Mhm.
So for some reason, a green t-shirt, I think this was already in my cart. So that was different. But the ones that I just added have now got a 20% discount because of the bulk pricing. So that's how you would achieve that with using the 2 products together.
Yeah, awesome. And we didn't give an intro to this bulk variations plugin, but you can see it
True.
quite visually here. It has this nice grid layout where you can have sizes and colors. You can even have additional variations in drop downs, so you're not limited to just two variation products. But yeah, it basically lists everything in a way that people can order more than one at a time and see all of the different variations. And by the way, if you're out of stock, it'll also blank out those ones, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of grays them out so that you cannot select an out of stock
Mhm.
variation. And you can also display the stock quantity if you want as well, so people can't select more than are in stock.
Mhm. All right. I see we have a few comments coming through, but I'm just going to just screen them a little bit before I pop them up. Uh-huh. Okay, so Vince says he submitted a question but found a solution already. Wow. And he says, also shout out to your support staff for helping me with my issues. Great job. Okay. Well, that's a great little uh, quality check for them. Yeah, 5 stars for them. And this one from Matt. Uh-huh. Hi, I'm looking at buying the quantity manager. I already have the Wholesale Pro and Product Table. I'd like to know how to set products exempt from the minimum deliverable value of £250. As an example, a new launch product may be a £15 product, but I don't want them to have to order £250 worth of the products to make up the minimum deliverable minimum. I don't know what that is. Minimum DV. He said it earlier in
Yeah, minimum
deliverable value.
deliverable value.
There
It's
it
a
is.
minimum order value, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so he's asking if our plugin can be helped to set that up so that people can still make an order of the new products without having to incur the minimum deliverable value uh, limitation, which would be applicable to all other products at the same time. Um, and because we're just answering this live, I'm going to defer to Katie's infinite wisdom here and see if she's got a quick answer for this. Otherwise, we'll get back to it when we go through the plugin later on.
Yeah, so Matt's using our WooCommerce Wholesale Pro and Product Table plugins to create a wholesale store with quick order forms. We'll look at that in a bit more detail in a minute when we look at wholesale as a plugin. But for now, what we focus on is the quantity part of the question, which is not a feature of Wholesale Pro or Product Table, which is why he hasn't found those. So in order to set minimum order values for the entire order, you need to use our Quantity Manager plugin, WooCommerce Quantity Manager, but set it up in such a way that it doesn't apply to all of your products. So for example, you can set order values at the category level. So you might set it, you might have one sort of top level category for all of your products, except for the ones that doesn't apply to. And then you set that minimum order value on the category where all your other products are in. Then that will apply to all of that category, all of its subcategories, all its subcategories, and everything within that. So that would be one way of structuring your store so that you've got a big category with a minimum order on it and a separate category of your new products which do not have that minimum order value. There's probably other structures you could use, but the point is that you can set minimum order values at the category level. Therefore, you can do that and exclude some by not having them within that structure.
Yeah, exactly. And so the main takeaway is that you can set these quantity rules on the category and individual product level. Is that correct? Or
Yeah,
just on the
that too.
category?
Yeah, which doesn't
Yeah.
apply in this case, but you can set it at the product and the variation level. And hopefully that made sense to Matt because he says, okay, Brill, that makes sense. Excellent.
Nice. While we're talking about the plugin, do you want to quickly demo it and go through the other question we have? Or should we jump on to the next comments that we have?
Let's
one
do
about
wholesale while we're on it, I think.
Sure.
Because we've just talked about that. And somebody at the beginning mentioned that as well. So I'll go back to my screen. So our WooCommerce Wholesale Pro plugin is a bit difficult to demo because the whole point is that the wholesale store is hidden. So I will do my best. So when you visit your store, if you're not logged in, you just see your normal public shop, which everybody can see. You don't have to have a public shop if it's wholesale only, that's optional. But if you do, you have a normal shop, just like any other WooCommerce store. But we have wholesale registration and also wholesale login form. So let's see if it will let me log. Actually, I'm going to log in as a wholesale user here. Using the instructions on our demo. So when we log in as a wholesale user, it takes us to the hidden wholesale part of the store. And you might see that the menu at the top has changed. The public store has gone. We are now in the wholesale area. And because on this demo site, we are using WooCommerce Wholesale Pro and our WooCommerce Product Table plugin, which Matt was in the previous question, you've got this nice order form, which, as you can see, is a much better way to sell wholesale products because wholesalers already know what they want to order. They know your products, they buy them regularly. They just want to choose quantities quickly, select them all, choose variations, all from the same page, and then add them all to the cart with one click. So that's a much quicker way to add them to the cart. And you've also got things like filter drop downs and search box, all aimed at helping that wholesale buyer to find their products and add them to the cart more quickly. So what questions did we have about Wholesale Pro?
Yeah, I have a question to answer here from Robert. Can I use WooCommerce Wholesale Pro on a multi-site and sync prices and stock between the stores? We thought this was such an interesting question that Katie actually published an article on our knowledge base about this, which I'm just going to show you now. Can I use
Yeah.
WooCommerce Wholesale Pro on a multi-site and sync inventory and prices across stores? Well, that's a very
Yeah.
familiar
Thank you,
question.
Robert, for the idea.
Yes.
Yeah, because
Now
usually, and actually,
uh-huh, uh-huh,
usually we say to everybody, you don't need multi-site to run a wholesale store. That's what WooCommerce Wholesale Pro does. It allows you to run a wholesale area with as many different roles as you want, each with different pricing from one WordPress installation that is not a multi-site. So originally we thought, well, why would you do that? But the point is, and we've got some more background information from Robert as well, that he wants to have multiple stores on different domains, multiple wholesale stores, but he wanted to sync the stock and the pricing across those stores. And so that is a valid reason to use WooCommerce Wholesale Pro on a multi-site. And so I created this knowledge base article on how to do it. And essentially, the plugin doesn't do it, but we've provided advice on how to do that. So with the inventory side of things, WooCommerce and our plugin do not sync inventory across sites in a multi-site, but you can use it with anything that does. So I've provided a list of good quality plugins and tools that do this. So first of all is Settery, which we're actually co-owner of, although it's not a Barn2 product. And that's a spreadsheet editor for WooCommerce, which has the ability to sync with multiple stores at once. So you can make your stock changes to the products in one store and then copy those changes to your other stores on those other domains. And then there's also two other plugins that are more stock focused, whereas Settery lets you edit all your product data from that one location. So that's 3 options. And with the pricing, it's quite simple. You just need to set up the wholesale pricing in our Wholesale Pro plugin on each site within the multi-site. And if you're setting your wholesale discounts either globally or per category, then that's easy because you just have to do it in like 1 or 2 places for each site. If you're setting product specific wholesale pricing, then I'd probably recommend using Settery to sync it in the way I just described for the stock, because that way you don't have to edit every product and every variation in all of the sites on the multi-site to set those wholesale specific price discounts. So plenty of information in that knowledge base article, and I hope it's helpful.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for getting that up so quickly, Katie, and I'm sure it'll be helpful for Robert. All right, if you don't mind, I'll just quickly screen a few more comments. And oh, Andy says hi. All right, and Niels has a question. Niels says, about password protected categories, I would like to have an option to set a shorter time for the protection to expire, maybe just 1 or 2 hours. And is it possible? So I'll quickly explain that this is one of our privacy plugins, and this one is password protected categories. We usually bundle it together with our Document Library Pro plugin because it's used to protect categories on websites for things like if you're a photographer and you want to protect the page from and then send the password to your clients, or if you have a set of documents or document library that you want to protect and only share with your school board or something else, then this is what this plugin is used for most primarily.
Yeah. So regarding the password expiry time, there's 3 types of protection. And if you're using the basic password protection, in which people don't need a user account on your site, they just need to enter the password and that will unlock the category and its contents. There's an option to set the number of days. And I actually don't know if you can set the number of hours. There isn't an option in the plugin to do that. But what I don't know is whether there's a developer hook or filter that you could use to do that as a customization. So I'd recommend that you contact our support team and they can check with the developers to see whether that's possible. Or you could look in the developer documentation in the password protected categories knowledge base, which documents all of the available actions and filters. We have a plugin customizations team that's not included in our support if you want us to do the work to customize it, assuming it's technically possible. But if it is possible, then we can provide a quote, or you can just give the information to your developer to do it. So to contact our support, just go to the support center on the website or email support@barn2.com.
Yeah, actually, I will just kind of demo the process, just so you know. The support page is always accessible from the top of the page right here. And if you actually know which plugin you're referring to, you can use the drop down and you can pick a different plugin. And then you can search in the documentation, or you can come down here and you can click on one of these, and then you can go through the support requests from there. All right, cool.
Okay, we got another comment before we continue. Hello from Saskia, who's checking in from Santanyí. So that's in Mallorca, where I live, and there are very few WordPress people in Mallorca. So yeah, I think I've had some contact with her on, it might be Twitter or something like that. But I did know there was another WordPress person. And Saskia, I met a WordPress plugin developer at WordCamp Europe who's just moved to Palma. So we should get together, the three of us. But anyway, let's continue.
That'd be a very nerdy get together. I love it.
Yeah.
All righty. So if we finished with Wholesale Pro, then I think we're ready to move on to product options. Awesome. Do you have a demo ready to go?
I can do very soon. Product options.
I also have something up if you want. I can bring up very quickly.
Yeah. That's fine. So product options is basically a way of adding better options to your products. So WooCommerce, as it comes, has variations which can only appear as drop downs, and WooCommerce Product Options adds tons more options. So I'll show you a couple of different ways you can use it. You can use it to add radio buttons and checkboxes to your products, as we can see on this pizza here, and that adds to the cost as you add extra toppings and things. So if you imagine selling a pizza with toppings, drop downs are no use because you might want more than one topping. So in this case, checkboxes are much better. And as you can see here, a little error just appeared. That's intentional because we'd set a maximum number of 3 toppings. So it's really flexible and you can do things that you can't in variations. And also it's a very different use case is clothing, where a lot of people use it to sell customizable products such as clothing or custom engravings or something like that. So this comes to the part of the live stream where I have to see what is in my downloads folder that is appropriate. I am going to upload a picture of some chickens, which I used to own 13 years ago, that happens to be in my downloads folder. So I'm going to...
I would buy that hoodie, Katie.
Press it's going to be amazing. Right, and it's going to say amazing chickens. And then once we've finished customizing, this preview will pop up, to which I can select where I want my image to, this is a good t-shirt, to appear, and also the text which I just added. And you can see this text.
Katie, it's an excellent hoodie. That's what it is.
Oh, I see. I should have written that, shouldn't I? Amazing chickens is not as good as excellent. So I can change the color to a nice orange, and really I should be buying this, shouldn't I, and placing an order. So anyway, the point is that customers can customize the product and see what it will look like on the finished product, either images or text. And the text is a new feature that we just added about a month ago. So then you click apply, and you can see it now appears amazingly on our product image, and that will obviously push through to the cart and the checkout and ultimately the finished order. So that's another use case for product options.
Yeah, and
And
in
for
case it's
most of the
not,
options,
oh, sorry, in case it's not
you go.
entirely obvious, this is Product Options plugin. Yes, you do need
Yeah.
Product Options, but you need to purchase the bundle with live preview to have this opportunity.
That's true. Yeah. It's so you buy it either on its own or with the live preview. And
Mhm.
with product options, you can either add the options as directly in our plugin, which is, to be honest, a lot easier than creating variations for various
Mhm.
reasons.
Mhm.
Or if you prefer, you can display other products as options that are in your store. So here, these cases on the smartphone product are actually options from another plugin. So not from another part of your store. So we've got a separate cases category that's displayed here, an accessories category, or you can display variations using these nice styles that we've provided in
Mhm.
our plugins. So you can actually display real product variations as options too. So it's a
Yeah,
lot
I
more
imagine a
flexible.
lot of stores might already have things like colors in their
Mm.
global attributes, and you can use your own store's global attributes to set up color swashes with our plugin. And this is the best of both worlds, right? Because you can
Mm.
display them in a nice, colorful way, but you don't have to recreate them or worry about managing stock in a different way. So, yeah, that's actually a very good point, Katie.
Yeah, the stock is a good point because our product options created in our plugin do not have stock management. That's a WooCommerce feature. So you need to use variations for that, but you can display
Mm.
them using all these nice styles from our plugin.
I'm going to jump into the first question from Alan. Can your product options plugin handle negative pricing? Well, I have a demo set up just for that uh, question. So I'm going to bump you out of the way, Katie, and put my screen up. And I've just modified this demo of a personalized birthday cake a little bit. And I've just added some pricing changes to the color options. So right
Love the
now,
colors.
yes, the neon green is -5% pricing, and the whatever you call it, stop sign red is fire engine red, maybe -$2. So you can set up different kinds of pricing using our in the back end of the plugin like this. So if I go to there's a little nice little handy edit button if you are the administrator and you want to edit the product options. Let me share this tab. And yes, so this is how this looks. We have radio buttons for flavor, but I was working on the color, so I'll edit that option. Here we have the four colors. We set the price type, and we have a percentage decrease option as well, or we have a flat fee. And then you can just put a negative value in front of the flat fee if you want to have the negative pricing. Another way you can achieve this is using our pricing formula. And I'm not going to go into all the details, but you can modify the formula in a mathematical way, just like you would modify a formula in Excel in order to give a negative price for a certain option or group of options. And you can use our price formula bot to achieve this kind of outcome using a prompt. So it's actually quite a handy way to get started, get the ball rolling with your pricing formula. So yeah, two different ways to use our plugin to have negative pricing for options.
Yeah. Vince is just leaving and says thank you. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you want to watch the rest
Thank you,
later, it's available on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, our next question comes from uh, Dawn or Dan, and it's a two-parter. So we'll just read through it. You can go ahead, Katie.
Can the plugin use images from the website and or our image library? My wife is a watercolor artist, so the website has images of her watercolor work. We're testing
Mhm.
out some custom products, coffee mugs and tote bags. I want to have customers choose watercolor images from the website to customize their mug or bag. So I think this means that you've got the picture of the bag, and you've got, say, 5 watercolor images, and when you select one, it will appear on the bag. I think that's what that means.
Yeah,
So
if I could go a step further, they might even have a library, a gallery as such, which they would like people to be able to test on different images, on different products.
Yeah. So what product options can't currently do, and we hope to add this at some point in the next 6 months, but I will never promise a time scale. We haven't started work on it yet, but it's soon on the list, is the ability to generate those images automatically, so that when the customer selects different options, say a black bag and a landscape watercolor, it will superimpose the landscape watercolor on the black bag automatically. That doesn't happen at the moment. So what they would need to do at the moment would be to use product variations, I'd say actual product variations for all of those options. And so you'd add all the different colors of fabric bag, for example, and this is actually quite a lot of work, so I understand why you would want it to happen automatically.
What about,
but
what if you, sorry, Katie, what if you could just make the images downloadable and then have them upload them using a live preview?
But the customer is not uploading them. The store has uploaded them.
Well, that's
So
what we
they're
want. That's what we
predefined.
want to achieve in the end, but as a current time scale workaround, I'm saying, like, you
How
show
would the
them.
customer uploading an image work
No,
in
I'm
this
saying
use case?
first you provide the gallery of images, then once they've picked an image they like, they download it and then upload it into the live preview. That's probably not the best
Yeah.
solution, is it?
It's not particularly customer friendly. You could
No.
do it without the preview. So you use the image option type, which is like a thumbnail of each watercolor image, and you can click on that to see a bigger version of it, but you wouldn't superimpose it on the bag. That's probably the simpler option. So they've got nice visual ways of choosing the watercolor images, but they don't see that mock-up. And to be honest, it's fairly obvious how it would look, but if you wanted to, you could set it up as variations, then still display them as images using our plugin, but they're actually variations, which allows you to add an image for every combination. But for now, you would need to generate all the images yourself and add them as variation images.
Yeah, so it's on the list for us to have that full functionality in the future, but strictly speaking, the plugin doesn't do that as of the recording of this video. All right, but if you do want to read more about the live preview add-on, you can also go to our knowledge base and this link here and visit the live preview and read more about how it works. And then let's jump into the next question regarding t-shirts with print. Is it possible to choose 2 print areas, front and back? For print area 1, you have the options front big, back big, or front right, or front left. I'm getting a little lost here. If you are, don't worry. We'll get to the solution here. Print area number 2, front big, back big, or front right, or front left. And they did attach a file in the original question. But let's see if Katie's already got something for that.
Yep. Okay. There's 2 ways to do this. Basically, it depends on whether you want to have one image that has 2 t-shirts in that one image, so the front and the back, and then you'd upload one that would appear on, say, the left one, and one that would appear on the right, all within one image. Or you might want to have separate images. So I'll show you demos of both of those. So first of all, let's start off with separate images. So here, am I sharing my screen? No, that would be helpful. There we go. So here we've got a t-shirt. Again, ignore the fact that we're using WooCommerce bulk variations. That's not relevant here. What matters here is that we can upload a design to the front. Oh, let's go for something other than chickens. Okay, a banner of my upcoming talk. So that's the front. And then if we click customize, you can see that on the front of the t-shirt. And I want to click this. Here we've used conditional logic in the plugin to hide the back of the t-shirt options until you tick this box. That's just a feature of the plugin. You could have the back options there all the time. And let's write, let's say hashtag WCUS, and we'll customize that too. Oh, I think this may not be set up properly because that's the wrong one, but it should. The way, if I'd set it up correctly, then the way it would work was that this one would be the back of the t-shirt, which would be a different picture. But I think I have not linked the options with the correct image, so I will check that. But that's one way where it's different pictures for the front and the back. The other way is where you've got one image. So here it's wall art, but you can imagine it's a t-shirt or something. And here I can upload multiple images. So let's upload some chickens again. And then we're going to
You should
close
crop it
and
so there's one chicken per image.
I really should create this, shouldn't I? Yeah. And here's a picture of us 13 years ago looking at chickens. So this is getting better. And what's the number 3 is going to be the best artwork ever, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
You have the
so
barn?
now I need
You have
to...
a picture of the actual
No.
barn?
Oh, there's one of the distant shot of the chicken. Someone wanted to see our chickens on Twitter, so I got them pictures. So first of all, let's just put them in each one and I can stretch them out. And oh, I could do what you said. There we go. There's a picture.
Have one.
There.
Oh, there's a few there.
Beautiful. It's probably going to overlap with the rest, but anyway, let's do it like that for now. And then add another one. So the point is, anyway, we don't need to do this perfectly, is that you can have the same image. Imagine a t-shirt front and back on this one image, and so that people can upload the front and back files together. And imagine that you had multiple printable areas per front and back. So the front might have, what were the ones that was described in the question, like one on the chest and one in the middle or whatever?
Yeah, they were
on the
saying,
sleeve.
let me bring that back up again, sorry. They were saying things like print area front big and back big, or front right or front left.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's how, so you can add, you set the printable areas, which were the areas we saw in dots a minute ago on those 3 wall art things. And you can add them wherever you want on your image. So you can add it to the t-shirt chest and so
on. By the way, Katie, I don't know if you know this, but when you're in the live preview, if you double click on the image, I think it should fill the entire space from top to bottom.
Ooh, it's also new. I'm not a power user yet. Oh, I like that.
So you don't have to crop exactly. Yeah.
Wow. And then you can drag it and so on.
Yeah, then you
and
can drag it around from there. Yeah.
Ooh, did not know that. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so hopefully that answers the question. It does just have to do mostly with how you set up the printable areas in the first place and how you link them to your various images. If you have a single image with a front and a back of a shirt, you'll have to set up printable areas on both and link the different upload boxes to those different printable areas. But if you have a single image with multiple, but if you have multiple images, they could each have their own 1 or 2 printable areas. Yeah. All right. I wanted to get back to a comment we got from Amit. Now, Amit says, we have a huge list of products and we want to offer products based on some criteria, and we don't want to show all the products to customers to avoid being overwhelmed. So we want our customers to answer a few questions before they can view the list of applicable products, since the filtered list will also have a good number of products. So we want users to have the ability to further filter those products. Now, I remember we had a question about this a while ago, but I haven't done any videos or written any blogs about this topic. Something about hierarchical filters or something like that.
Yeah, answering a few questions is interesting. I want to find, I'm never going to find a tutorial on our blog. Yeah, you can set it up like a questionnaire. And we have got an example. Oh, how to craft a product recommendation quiz. Thank you, Google. Right, I'm just going to create a banner.
You found that on our blog, yeah?
Well, I Googled it because I knew it existed. So this is a blog post, which I'll put on my screen now, and hopefully there'll be useful screenshots in it as well. So this
Nice.
is a blog post about how to do a quiz. Where's a screenshot? So here, I'm going to zoom in a bit because this is a screenshot within a blog. I didn't like that. Sorry, make you dizzy. Right, okay. So here's an image. Hopefully you can see that the right-hand column has questions. So 1, what gender clothing do you prefer? And you can then select from a category filter, men or women. What colors do you look great in? What sizes do you normally wear? And things like that. So that's one way to do a quiz where it's always visible. You can hide them within little toggles if you want, so that people click on each question to answer it. It doesn't have to be visible all the time. And I'm just going to go to the demo site for WooCommerce Product Filters to show you another feature that might be relevant, which is the step-by-step filters. And with this, it's like they appear as you go along. And again, you could use the wording like 1, choose ask a question, whatever the question is. In this case, we're not asking it as a questionnaire, but you can use it as we just saw. So you select a type of car and then see the models has appeared underneath, and you can keep choosing down and down as low as your category structure goes. So I would say maybe to answer this question, combine those 2 techniques. Do you think that answers the question, Sam?
Yeah, it certainly shows how you can use our product filters plugin to achieve this. I just want to know if what's in that blog article is going to give them enough information to set this up for themselves, or if they'll need to have any other kind of custom solution. Because I'm thinking they might be imagining like a pop-up window or kind of an intermediary page before they see products.
Yeah, WooCommerce Product filters the products after they load. So you would need to do some customization if you wanted to hide them. And that is possible because actually each filter combination has a unique URL. So you could do something that's not even our plugin, and in terms of when they select things from the questionnaire, and use the URLs to take them to the relevant page depending on their selections. But the simplest option is certainly what I showed you, which is that the questionnaire appears with the products.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Cool. Let's see if Amit says what he says precisely. I'm looking for such intermediate section. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
yes.
so
So
there is a
strictly
bit of
speaking,
customization.
yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I wonder if you could use some like CSS or something just to temporarily hide the list of products until you have selected from the filters. And there's an option in WooCommerce Product Filters so that the filters don't apply until you click an apply button. On what we've got on my screen at the moment doesn't have that. It's using Ajax to load them instantly, but you can have an apply filters, or in Amit's case, probably show results or something like that button. And potentially a developer could hook into that button so that the filters only load or take you to another page with them loaded based on clicking that button. But that's not part of the plugin. We do offer a customization service where we could give you a quote for that if you didn't have a developer who could do it for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm wondering if I can find the link for that somewhere. Plugin customization. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can visit this page on our website if you need some kind of custom build. It would still involve our plugin. Well, we would hope at least. But then it would also do exactly what you're looking for rather than just something close to what you're looking for. All right. We've gone through a lot of great live comments. I'm so happy that you guys are joining us today. We just have perhaps 1 or 2 more plugins that we wanted to highlight, and we should be wrapped up still on time. So that's great. The next one is a question about WooCommerce Quantity Manager. And I'm going to quickly demo and answer this question at the same time. So, does your plugin have an option where you can set a minimum of quantity, for example, a t-shirt with screen printing with a minimum of 50 pieces, but when you choose something else like digital print, it starts with 1 piece instead of 50? So I'll bring up the tab that I'm sharing. Here we go. So this is from our demo of our WooCommerce Quantity Manager plugin. So Quantity Manager is all about setting the limits for what you can or cannot buy based on the selection. So if you select something and you want that product to be a minimum of 5, you can just set it straight to 5 instead of being at 1 by default. This saves the hassle of the customer adding 2 and then realizing they need to add 3 more. You can have quantity steps, so like 5, 10, 15, 20. You can have minimum amounts, so it starts at 2 or it starts at 5. You can set maximum amounts and all kinds of things in between. So I can't really show you everything in this demo, but let's just choose a color. And when I choose this color red, it says this variation has a minimum quantity of 10 and a maximum of 50 and a quantity step in values of 2. So when I go up, it goes from 10 to 12, 14, and so on. Then when I choose a different variation, then I just need the total value to be between $100 and $200. So that would mean I would need about maybe 3 of them, for example, in order for that to work. With the blue one, it has a default quantity of 0, but customers can order it in any quantity. So this one just doesn't.
You've already
really have
entered 3, so the default quantity is not working, but it would do.
Okay. Oh, yeah. That's maybe if I clear it and then I choose this one.
I think they all have
Okay.
it, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, so the bottom line, the point is, yes, in answering this question, first of all, yes and yes. You can set up different variations or different products to have these different minimum quantities. And from that minimum, for example, if you set the minimum to 50, they could still order 51, 52, 53. They don't have to go just by 50 and 100. But regardless, if you set the minimum to 50 on one product or variation, it doesn't have to impact all the rest of your products. And likewise, you can set the digital print to a minimum of 0 or 1. Yeah. All right. So that's our WooCommerce Quantity Manager plugin. Pretty niche plugin, but very useful in some situations for sure.
So we've got a question about that one, haven't we?
Yeah, I just answered it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought it was a two-parter. Yeah. Okay.
Amit really enjoyed our answer, so thank you. Thank you, Amit, for the question. Just wanted to close that one.
Okay.
All right.
Then we've got WooCommerce Private Store, but it's not really a question about WooCommerce Private Store. So rather than introducing it, I wonder whether I should cover the introductions as part of the plugin, if that makes sense, because we don't think that's the plugin they need. We will reveal more when we show the question.
Yeah. So here's the first part of the question.
So this is Aaron. Aaron says, we are building a site that provides athletic teams with specific apparel. Some products are unique and assigned one category, while others are available in multiple stores and assigned to more than one category. Would this plugin prevent products assigned to multiple categories from showing up in more than one store? So our WooCommerce Private Store plugin, which Aaron is asking about, is very simple. It makes the whole of WooCommerce private, and then once somebody has the access to the store, it will unlock the entire store. So it does not allow you to create multiple stores within stores. Once you've either entered the password or logged into a user account that has access to the store, it will unlock the entire store. So here we've got the password protection option. If you type unlock store, you will get access to all of the products, which is great if that's what you want. If you want everyone who has access to get all your products, fine. But that's not what Aaron wants. So what Aaron needs instead is our WooCommerce Protected Categories plugin, possibly with Private Store too, which I'll get to in a minute. But the key thing here is WooCommerce Protected Categories. And that allows you to have multiple stores within stores, exactly as Aaron describes. And so he said some products are unique and assigned one category, while others are available and assigned to more than one. So the way WooCommerce Protected Categories works is that you have visibility options, which the plugin adds to your edit category pages. And that allows you to either set a password on the category or automatically unlock it for specific users or even or roles. So logged in users with the right credentials would have access. So what Aaron needs to do is install WooCommerce WooCommerce Protected Categories and use it in that way. So change the visibility for each category so that the category basically becomes a sort of sub-store within his website. Each one can have subcategories. They would automatically inherit the protection for that store, we will say. And yeah, you can assign some products to multiple categories. What matters is that the user has the role to access them. And there might be a bit of a logic required to get it so that the right people access the right categories. And we can help you with that if you contact support, if you are getting a bit stuck with the logic. But essentially, it's about locking down those categories and treating them as stores. And if your whole store will be private, you could use it with WooCommerce Private Store. You don't have to, because if all of your categories are private, then they're private. But WooCommerce Private Store adds a few extra features like hiding, say, your links to your cart and your checkout page, which Protected Categories doesn't do. And it also provides a centralized login page. So there's some benefits to using both plugins, although the essential one is Protected Categories.
Awesome. Yeah, so it's just a matter of the fact that we have several, in fact, 3 different privacy plugins, and they sound similar to each other, but they achieve slightly different things. Yeah.
It
So
is
protected
confusing.
categories instead of private store. Yeah. All right. Awesome. And do we have any other live comments coming through? Not at the
I
moment.
think we're okay.
Okay. Well, you have probably just a few minutes to get your last second comments in if you're still watching and you still wanted to say something, or you had a question about any of the plugins that we covered today. But yeah, generally, we have live streams every month, and you can register for them from our events page if they're ready to go up there. Our next live stream actually will be on I changed that earlier. I swear I did. It must have not saved. It's the 18th of September. Let me just type that in. I guess I just didn't press save. Anyway, 18th of September, that will be our next live stream. So in just over a month's time. And assuming that my wife has not had her baby already, you will be seeing me live on here. And yeah, we'll love to get your questions then. And Katie, anything from you?
Yeah, so if you've got any questions in the meantime, then feel free to contact our support at any time, and we can answer questions straight away. So you don't have to wait for the live stream, but yeah, tune in next month and we can provide live demos and things like that as well. So thank you so much for watching.
You should definitely pester Katie on X. She loves that when you just message her on X directly. And
yeah, that's our official customer support channel.
Yes.
Is my personal X account. Yeah.
I'm kidding, of course. No, thank you guys so much for joining us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.